You only fight it once. Frankly, I can't remember what its fight was really like. I just don't think it should really be considered until it can be fought again. Hopefully, maybe pretty please as an arch-tempered monster.
There it is.
What a place to start. Apart from the objectively funny concept of, a farting monkey, I just really can't find much enjoyment in the fight. Of course, the gimmick being farting I get, but God, the farting, I just don't like it. It comes with a unique status effect at least, like stench, but outside of the annoying factor of not being able to heal until it's dealt with, which of course you can't do about the endemic life, or dare I say, I just find it really forgettable. Outside of that, it's just your run-of-the-mill Fanged Beast fight. You got your Claw Slash, a Claw Slash, got a Slam into the Hunter, a Hip Check, daring. Look, I get why everything interesting about this monkey has to do with its arse, but it doesn't help when what makes it interesting in the first place I find to be either incredibly boring, or just done better elsewhere. Major spoilers for this list. Some of the Fanged Beasts I really like. This game knocks them out of the park for me. But this just really isn't it. I don't know, maybe it's a sign of the times for the good old Congalala. Yeah, no cutscene for this one. You'll take what you get and you'll like what you're getting. I cannot stress enough, by the way, how big the gap between Congalala and this lovely little whimsical funky rubber chicken is. Don't get me wrong, I don't really like it, but from here it's more of a meh than a I don't really understand Gypsaros, to be honest. Why does it need to flash you, poison you, and have that goddamn expandable tail? And it's stupidly fast when it fails at you too. Not that it's quick, it's just swifter than you expected it, and it's just a bit stupid to just be hit by this goddamn whipping rubber tail. The stupidest bit of this monster is its best bit though. Having a monster fake its death is such a great, such a novel idea, especially for Gen 1 Monster Hunter. It's really charming, and it just sort of loops back into being goofy. Still, quite meh for me. Still no cutscene, sorry. This one's a bit of a strange one for me. Quite meh, but with incredibly cool base and very cool bones. That laser is probably one of the most satisfying attacks to block in the entire game, nay, the entire series in my opinion. And the way it throws its weight around is honestly really cool, and not just to watch, but fun to play around too. But that's about it. It's not fun to stab a rock. I mean, luckily one of my main weapons doesn't really see this problem very often, but from what else I've tried it with, it's not great for a lot of weapons, just, stabbing a rock. Just seeing everything bounce isn't really great. Bring a shield or bring a ranged weapon, otherwise I just really would not bother with this weapon. Weapon? Monster. Pretty good basketball court though. And also, why the hell can it put you to sleep? I just don't get it. Yeah, you know what? No, I don't think I'm going to do the cutscenes anymore. Anyways, Guardian Rathalos, go. This may be a bit low, but it's just a Rathalos. Now we've added worse! Full disclosure, as a group, I am a very big fan of the Guardian monsters. I think they did them incredibly well, as you'll see later on, I'm sure. And this is one of the two which have their base forms in the game. This is, the worst Guardian for me, and that is by a very large margin. It just doesn't really do anything that different, outside of, two Wilk attacks. I don't really think this is an improvement by any means. All I really think about is how much I'd rather be fighting someone else. Like Rathalos. Missed opportunity, I think. Right, I forgot about Blangonga. Honestly, for me, it's the game's definition of forgettable. It's not bad. Nothing past like 32 is for me. It's just a bit bland, boring monkey. Better monkey than Congalala though. Well, most monkeys better than Congalala though. This is where we start getting to the monsters I actually start to somewhat like quite a bit, so just feeling quite meh. And where better to start this meh to fine transition off with this beautiful spider. It's a pretty good fight, I guess. But for me, at least, for a returning monster, not much has really changed. And I get that, and for some people would really like this. But I haven't really fought, outside of maybe Gen 4, I haven't really fought much older Gen Nursilla before this. And, I don't know, it just ends up getting overshadowed by a much younger, better spider. As you'll see later. But yeah, the fight's pretty good. I like the bits with the stinger. I love the set of the whole Nursilla nest in its fight. We've got the hatchlings, we've got to deal with all of them. I think that's a lovely addition, but all in all, it's a bit of a bland spider for me. It covers itself with Gypsyros skin though, and you know my feelings on Gypsyros. From one theory's vet to another, but this time it may be closer time to retire. I mean, it works just fine as an early game dragon fight, as it had for Gen 5, 4, and 3 and 2 and 1. Jesus Christ, even Monster Hunter now. To be honest, it's slowly getting stale, and it could definitely use with a bit of a mix-up. Maybe even a faux rework. Like, maybe, you know, Master Rank Rathian could be something special. Until then, it's just really what it's always been, a Diet Rathalos. Spoiler? I quite like this game's smaller large monsters. Although my least favourite of the group would probably be this, Hirobami. Although saying that, I do really enjoy it. Especially its animations, like the way its body flaps in the wind like a banner, the way it moves, I just find really satisfying. Although, generally outside of its design and physics, it's got little really going for it, quite unremarkable as a fight. It's about as basic as you'd expect. Although, as a pack monster it works decently well. And you won't find me saying that too much, because a lot of the way the game uses packs is quite underwhelming, really. I feel like this might be my first controversial choice of the ranking, though I guess I don't really know. But Gormagala's a bit tricky for me, to be honest. Killer design, incredibly imposing. Like, it feels like an endgame monster. It just feels great. Like, almost as imposing as For You. Of course, it will never be as imposing as For You, because in that game, of course, it was a rival, so its story significance did half its work, but yeah. What it does best is ambience and atmosphere, but through no faults of its own, I'm really not a fan of Wild's Gormagala. To be honest, it all just comes down to the fight itself. I get why he had to go in the Ice Shard Cliffs, like, bloody hell, he's massive, he wouldn't fit anywhere else, but I just don't think it was designed with him in mind. Whilst there are some areas that feel great to fight a monster as large and imposing as Gore, like that one at the very top of the cliffs, I forget the number of the area. For a majority of the fight, you're just locked in these small caverns or hallways that are just entirely covered by his claw hitboxes. It's just not really that fun to fight him in this type of locale. In the Wounded Hollow, don't get me wrong, he is so much better, but I'm not going to factor that in, to be honest. If you can't enjoy the monster in the natural conditions you fight it, then it's just naturally going to rank low for me. Most fights are, after all, better in the Valley of Death, where Gore looks back on his life and realises there's nothing left. Here he is. The poster child. Daddy's favourite. And to be fair, you can't exactly blame him. It's pretty good. It's a classic, even today. There's a reason I feel it's stuck as a mascot from the beginning. That's because it is the perfect quintessential dragon fight. Claw swipes, dives, fireballs, etc. Even a bit of poison thrown in there for good measure. It's also got a killer design for a classic dragon. Like, really good mascot potential, because it is a really good take on the classic dragon. But the series itself, I don't think really is about classic dragons anymore, is it? In terms of fight design, and what have you, the series has sort of outgrown the classic Rathalos fight. Don't get me wrong, it's a great monster, especially under the context it was made in, but as time goes on, I feel the series gets more and more wild, wink wink, with each instalment. I mean, compare it to, like, I don't know, this gen's flagship Arkveld. That fight is nutty with, like, added nuts, and we won't be seeing his lovely mug for a while yet. Or even a smaller monster like a Jarakan. That's an exploding bear monkey wrestler type thing. What's Rathalos? It's a dragon. While it still definitely has its role as a mid-game monster, there's a reason it's not really pushed outside of its mascot status anymore. It's there to be there. Like, don't get me wrong, it sometimes has plot significance, like Guardian Rathalos in this game, but regular Rathalos, I feel like this game could have maybe gone without. But you need Rathalos. So, I'm glad he's here. It's a timeless monster, and it won't stop anytime soon. And speaking of the exploding bear monkey thing, the best boomy bear monkey around. Quite a big fan of this monkey, to be honest. The fight is really fun, and it's got a really good design. Like, the thing about this game for me, even the slightly lower monsters still have incredible designs, like in terms of newcomers, and those cannonballs are so satisfying. From here on out, every monster has some aspect I really like. And some of Jarakan's moves are some of the funnest in the game, in my opinion. This is where movesets. For where it is positioned in the game, this is by far the peak. To be honest, I just sort of wish that this is a monster that's, I feel, underutilises the pack aspect. For example, in the story fight, you fight a pair of... Well, you don't fight a pair of them, but... Or do you? Never mind. Either way, when you approach them in the story, it's two of them, and I feel like they could have played around that a lot better, especially with the whole wrestling explodey bear monkey thing. Imagine if they tossed you between one another. It would have been so fun. The next Guardian on this list, and Jesus Christ, can you just feel the difference? This monster is such a fun hunt. Like, it just moves so fast, darting around to pounce on the hunters, got a killer design, and using elements of the Wilk to highlight Ebony's already great colour palette was just an excellent touch. Overall, as I've said previously, the Guardians I do think are a very strong set of monsters, and this is really a key example of what I think makes them special. I mean, betrayed a bit by its position on the list, but, you know. Their choice of monsters on who to make Guardians, they couldn't have done it better. Choosing Ebony Odogaron is really interesting, and it just makes sense too. Of course, they wouldn't make an original Odogaron. Why would they make an original Odogaron? They need it to protect. Silly. I don't know, man, don't know what to say, I just love it. Great burnt jerky dog. Jesus Christ, what a low-rank final boss. They took the Guardian idea, which you know I already love, and made a faux black dragon out of it. Jesus Christ. I really like this monster. Something which modern monster hunters sort of had a bit of trouble with. Like, with the last gen, I'm not going to say names, Mr. Xenojiva, but low rank bosses have been a bit of a point for contention. I feel like, yeah, Rise was fine, I suppose. Anywho, first of all, I really like its design. It's like a Minecraft quartz dragon, and I get that's really simplifying it, but I don't know what to say. It's beautiful, with multiple parts of the fight. Jesus Christ, the parts when it turns into the black dragon. Oh, The fight as well has some really great moments. I mean, obviously all the black dragon stuff, but a lot of the Wilk stuff as well I find very inspired. Like, very interesting way to use the mechanics to detonate the Wilk before it can. All around, great low rank boss, but high rank is, it's pretty cool though. Just chef's kids. Full disclosure, the Apex monsters are an incredible group, way up there with the Fated Four in my opinion. Now this flambe octopus is a ton of fun. As the first octopus the game really offers you, when you fight it, it's just so unique, and strangely imposing, exactly what you need for an Apex monster. It's even got a bit of Lovecraftian in there, fill your boots son. But an octopus doused in oil, which it uses to light itself on fire, is like a world-class concept. Incredible. In the battle itself, its attacks are so well telegraphed for something of its shape. It is so satisfying to fight overall. I'm really impressed. It boggles me how they managed to animate it so well. It's amazing. I'm not a professional with any of this, it just looks really good. Its hits are fast, and it's got a lot of projectiles too, which makes the fight dynamic, keeps it interesting. Even though it is my least favourite Apex, this is still, like, an incredible, really good monster that I can definitely see coming back quite often, if they let it. And that new Arch-Tempered fight, Jesus Christ. Quite the tonal shift from Nudra to the funkiest, spiciest of chickens, but this is a pretty cool, spicy, funky chicken boy. It just has so much character to it in my opinion. From the way it moves, the way it fights, the way it has both feathers and scales, and its feathers made of scales. All the fun of the fair. It performs its early game role really well, although, as you'll probably see, not as well as some of the other early Wilds lads. But all in all, really fun little fight. I think it works really well for what it is. Great armour, great weapons. I don't know, I can't really think of anything bad. Just it's not the best, you know? Another of the Windward Plain earlies, Belahara works really well as an early game hunt, as well as outside of that context for me. This monster's major strength lies in its design as well as its animations. Jesus Christ, what a killer design. An eyeless drill serpent, which is just, I don't know, pretty much all throw. But wow, the animations on this thing are so bloody good. The way it burrows and digs through the sand, God, I don't even know how they managed to do that. It's so, I just find it really good. A personal favourite of mine, the way it launches itself at the hunter with just pure reckless abandon. To be completely honest, I don't really understand why its weapons are water element, but I suppose one of the main aspects of its fight is its spit, so yeah. Killer armor as well. Looking at this list, I cannot believe that this is my best monster of the Orwell Basin, but yeah, I just love this freaky little balloon bird raptor boy. If I ever do a world ranking, which I am more than willing down to do if this does well enough, you'll find I'm a big fan of inflatable monsters. Inflating itself using the fumes of the oil and incorporating it into its attacks. It's just, I know I keep on saying it about this game's monsters, but it's just such a novel idea. It's just such a good concept. Its design is the perfect amount of creepy to sell itself as a freaky little fella, but not to make it seem overly imposing for an earlier monster, as can also be seen through its animations. I just can't get over how weirdly cute it is. Really, it's just evil to make the most poppable thing in the world, God's most poppable creature, and give it sword arms. What a poor little fella. Possibly the most imposing monster in the game for me. I mean, Jesus Christ, probably one of the best ice monsters in years. The sheer scale of this fight is something incredible, man. The way it slithers across the map as it moves, shaping the environment to fit itself personally. Nothing beats it. To be completely honest, this is probably the best case of an Apex feeling like an Apex. It's believable that this is the strongest monster an area has to offer. I mean, of course, apart from the multiversal threat that is Omega Planetes, but not a single thing could match it other than that. To be honest, I don't really know what else to say. It's got an incredible fight, its design is killer. Like, Jesus Christ, that supernova. If it weren't for Zoshia, this gives the best final boss vibes in the game. But that's, again, how imposing it really is, how much of an apex it feels like it is. Jesus Christ, its theme is really good as well. Can't get enough of it. Apex to apex, cold to wet. This is a very different case from Dinderhard for me. Sure, it's imposing in its size, but I'm just going to be honest, it's a funny big chubby fish who sort of just throws its weight around. And I just love him for it. As an Apex, I mean, it's overshadowed in its own habitat, for God's sake. It's kind of pathetic. At first, it was great. Then Mizitsune showed up and put up a very strong fight. Then Lagiacrus rocked up and, good lord, pack it up, man. And he swam as far as his soggy little legs could carry him. But I just really love him, though. He's my little derpy fish boy. He just rolls around with reckless abandon. His most dangerous move is just flopping on you, for Christ's sake. And he looks great, incredible aesthetic. I don't know, I feel like a lot of these entries are getting a bit samier and samier, but I don't know what else to say. Like, we are in the area of really, really good monsters. I swear, Capcom just gets better at spiders with every generation. And to be fair, I think this might be my favourite one so far. I mean, since Rise with Raknakodaki, it's just been getting better and better. I mean, I guess that is only 2, so... Oh well, maybe in the DLC we'll have another great spider. Anyways, what a beautifully designed creature Lalabrina is. And for such an early game monster, I mean, it's literally like the third one you fight. This monster is not only well designed in both looks and animations, but the effect it has on the environment is, honestly, I was surprised by how intense it seems to be. They've got their own little hollow in the corner of the Scarlet Forest. I wonder why it's called the Scarlet Forest. Oh boy. But yeah, the way it moves, its animations, it's so graceful, and really, it just, I don't know, it just conveys its deadliness very well. It practically dances around you. I would call it one of the best introductory monsters. But to be fair, in recent generations Capcom has been hitting it out of the park with early game monsters. It's not, the fact that it's not even my favourite one from this game speaks a lot to their, not their consistency, but just how far above they go with them at the minute. Yeah, it's just sort of a lightning shooting T-Rex. Enough said, really. Final of the introductory monsters, and the one that, if I'm being honest, had definitely left the biggest impression on me. I think Chatacabra is hugely emblematic of the positive trends the series has been going on for its first monsters, especially within the more modern gens. Gosh, since about World, I'd say, every monster has been so much more than a tutorial. Seen best here. This is just a lovely funky little frogman. It's pretty easy, its moves are definitely easy to dodge and counter, with an added bonus of perfect block tutorial if you want it. And it's presented as an actual threat in the story though, especially the whole, the secret debacle. And probably its best feature, it's not just another basic monster, it's not just your average drone. it has its own novel concept of sticking rocks to its arms to enhance its attacks, which also has the bonus effect of a strong intro to part breaking and focus strikes. The point is, not only does it act as a brilliant introductory monster by itself, it stands on its own two legs creatively, and I think that needs to be acknowledged more. One of the most consistent groups in Monster Hunter Wilds would probably be the cephalopods. Although I'd say the old gen octopi are definitely good, even great, Nikakos, I'm looking directly at you. Nothing tops what we have now, to be honest. And Zuwu, I would argue, is the best of the bunch. What an idea. A monster that evolved to act as a natural predator to the already constructed guardian monsters. And it's the squid of Lovecraft's most aquatic dreams. The fake mouth on the front, the party mouth on the back. It moves beautifully, although that's more of a wild cephalopod thing overall, I guess. And its fight is really fun to me. It just throws blades at you a lot of the time, slashes you, but then it bloody leaps at you head first, and you get to see what that mouth do. Grinds you into a screaming bloody paste. On blood, why? I'm not quite sure why it doesn't do bleed, to be honest, but that's neither here nor there, although Worlds could definitely use some more bleed monsters. And here he is, the flag of this darn ship, and what a flag he is. First of all, love the story of the whole Guardian Arkveld passing its artificial limits through its ability to absorb elemental energy, to then reproduce and restart the Arkveld species. That's my understanding of it. If I've gotten it wrong and forgotten something, please let me know, Jesus Christ. And its fight match is such a triumph, and its theme too. Good God, its theme too! Of course, we can't really ignore the comparisons with other flagships, but I think Arkveld stands up really well. The chain attacks are bloody incredible. What a gimmick. Everything with the chains is done so incredibly well. The animations, hell, it even wraps you up with them. Intention's ambiguous, of course. Again, I'm not really sure what to say. One of the main reasons I love Arkveld is its status and how it just feels. The atmosphere surrounding it is just impeccable. Propelled by a lot by its role in the story. Funny though, Nata's pleading with you not to kill it multiple times throughout the story, as it's actively gouging itself on any monster it can get its hands on. I just found very funny. We should have just killed it when we had the chance. And what a triumphant return this is. It just rocked up and now, let's be honest, it's probably the strongest thing in the forest. I feel like all the compliments I can give will get really repetitive, especially by now. But for a while we've been at the point where, to be honest, they're just all winners. First of all, it's massive. It's given the best sea serpent vibe it could ever have. Every time it moves, you get a sense of just how powerful it is, like a true Lord of the Seas. The way it twists with each attack, the way it charges itself, the way it hit checks you with the might of Zeus himself, it's perfect. And Jesus Christ, the music. I'm getting the feeling I'm going to need to do a separate video on Monster Hunter World's music, because I think it's just the most underrated bit of the game, to be honest. Anyway, the best part of this monster by far is the underwater phase. Holy hell, what a set piece. Having to dive into its own territory to stop it from fully charging is an amazing way to recapture the feel of underwater combat from past gens. Like you're in the monster's territory. A feeling helped in that you're forced to take advantage of the environment to deal with it. It's just perfect. It's the perfect post-launch inclusion, although, as you can probably guess, not my favourite. But it does find itself among a group of perfect post-launch inclusions in my opinion. Not a single miss in the bunch. Yeah, this is a personal favourite of mine. The game has made a clear habit of using Doshiguma as an introductory monster to a number of its concepts, and I mean, yeah, it's great. First of all, the idea of monster packs and how to actually deal with them, and lay it with guardian monsters. Like, I like it. And boy was this the right choice for these roles. For a monster so simple, it's done so perfectly for me. The way it's presented in the story is pretty much the main introductory threat you deal with. And what it did, well, yeah, the way it rampages through Kunafa, things like that. Presented incredibly well through the rampage through Kunafa, as I just said. I am a moron. Not just that, they show up again to be a pain in the Scarlet Forest. I just like that. It sort of has like a very, very, very small rival feel. Like, not for you Gormagala, Jesus Christ no, but, well yeah. That and its fight I just find to be really good as well, perfectly conveying its brutish strength and stature. Also, I cannot get over how good the pack theme is for it. All in all, this is just a very lovable bear guy. This game does brilliant bear monsters. Ah, the controversial one! I personally really like how they did the Final Fantasy Super Boss. In my opinion, much better than they did with Behemoth in World. It just translates so perfectly. And, well, the absurd difficulty with Savage just makes it so much better. I get why people hate it, but I just find it so much fun, man. I mean, you can tell by the footage, this is regular Savage Omega, not Savage Omega, regular Omega Planetes, not Savage. Really nice touch to use its original theme for Phase 2, or 1 with Savage. Its fight, again, is just translated so perfectly. The arena-spanning AoEs, the Delta attack, the giant lasers, good lord, the Delta attack. The Nurse Scylla DPS check is also really fun, and let's face it, probably the coolest thing Scylla does in the game. It honestly was a pretty bold move to take one of Final Fantasy XIV's most imposing bosses, and to not hold back on difficulty at all. Some people hate it for this, but that's just what makes it so special for me. I just love him. Trust me, I know. This monster isn't anything big, anything imposing, even really anything dangerous. And I know it's not that popular from what I can gather, but this somehow is something special to me. I surprised myself with how much I like this thing. To be honest, placing it took it ages. I just didn't know how much I ended up liking Yonkaku. Its fight isn't anything remarkable, it hasn't got much, but what it has got spades of. And that is character. This goofy little chicken has somehow done better than practically everyone else, and just because it is a goofy little fella. The way it moves, the way it squawks, the way it's filled with so much personality. I don't know, man, I just really like him. Also, bonus points for having him be the introductory high rank fight. It's pretty much perfect for the role, especially with how it just perfectly slots into the Scarlet Forest ecosystem. Like, of course something, and a lot of that something, lives in the higher peaks of the region. And its fight I find to be just hard enough that acts as the perfect bridge. Like, it's the perfect high rank fight to do with low rank gear. Not that it has any big moments in said fight though. There's an easy shorthand way to tell if a goofy monster is great. Bonus points for how many times it is done. Look, if its weapons are just its head on a stick. And this monster has a considerable amount of head on stick. Love him. Greatest Guardian monster by far for me. He's so very good. This monster I feel is the perfect example of Wilds' concepts at their peak. Something which, to be honest, is sort of lacking for certain areas, that goddamn pack mechanic. Doshiguma is the perfect monster to not only be a guardian, but to introduce the concept. I mean, as a base monster, you already know just how much I love him. Like, what was he, an entry, 2 entries ago? But to take the already incredible base monster, one perfect in its simplicity, and to just remake it into the perfect guardian was a stroke of genius. It takes what Doshiguma does incredibly and remixes it into something so much more. The way it incorporates the Wilk into its signature Fanged Beast moveset is just perfection. Forcing it to sprout at the player, for example, off of its basic slashes may seem basic, however, For the introductory Guardian, it's perfect. It sets the base for every other Guardian to work off of, and does it so well. I feel like my love for this monster is just pretty simple. They already took one of my favourite newcomers and made him one of my favourite newcomers. I don't know. To be honest, I know how repetitive this is getting, but I just love him. Enough to be my second favourite newcomer, if you're keeping track. To be honest, even from when I started playing the whole franchise, this thing has always fascinated me. The design, the fight, the armour, the weapons, the theme, good god the theme, the bubbles. It's a slippery slope liking Mizutsune. You fight it once, you're into it, and it becomes one of your favourite monsters. At least for me. And good lord, does Wilds adapt him perfectly. Best Serpent-esque monster, bar none, although to be fair, isn't really much competition. The way it moves is still the most satisfying thing to watch, like Legaicrus on bubbly crack. They translated the design perfectly and rendered it just as well. It's so bloody beautiful. The fight itself is honestly one of my favourites in the game, if you couldn't tell, mainly in just how fun I find the bubbles to be. Being able to pop them, having a variety of different types, and propelling itself around using its own water jet, using its sleek, smooth, silky surface, is such a fun little thing. The whole fight is just the perfect amount of complexity, towing the line between over-designed and absolutely skits, mate. And good lord, that music again. And gooder lord, that enraged state. Damn slivery bastard acts like he's in the last corridor and you've killed not one, not two, but everything in a 200-mile radius. He gets the bloody Sanzai for Christ's sake. Saying that, didn't also Mizutsune exist first? Did Toby steal Mizutsune for that annoying dog? But yeah, this is just incredible. I don't know what that delivery was, but yeah, this is just incredible. They took what was already one of my favourite fights in the franchise's history and translated him perfectly into Wilds, no complaints. This beautiful pinecone Stevie boy! This wasn't at all like Mizutsune for me. Sure, I liked Seregios, but Jesus Christ, he is now one of my favourite monsters. This game made me fully appreciate Steve for all his sharp, slinging glory, and I couldn't be happier about it. How one generation man can completely make a monster. Not even like they made the monster, he was already a great monster, I just didn't appreciate him as much. But that's neither here nor there. First of all, good lord, his design is incredible, and it didn't really click with me until I saw it with Wilds rendering. Jesus Christ, every nook and cranny of this thing is so goddamn cool. The horn, the scales, the wing, and, well, of course, the scales. That pinecone head is everything I've ever wanted and more. Next up, the goddamn animations. Jeez, the animations. It's just so fast in everything it does. He tosses his scales with speed, he kicks with speed, he just does everything at Mark 3. That fight, in terms of pure adrenaline, probably the best single overall fight for me. It's just constantly throwing itself at you, talons first, or tossing scales, or just funking diving full force at you. You know, all the fun of the fair. The fight itself is everything I want out of a late high rank hunt. It's one of, if not the most dynamic hunt in the game for me. Not once do either of you stop moving, and if you can't keep up, it will just scrape you into a floor stain with its sharpened toes. And it has amazing music. Steve the Pinecone is just sort of incredible, and I'm ashamed it took me so long to see it. Yeah, no, this can be my new favourite monster actually, yeah, why not? The moment I saw this thing revealed, I knew I would just adore it. A certain biological railgun is bloody incredible. Starting with the smaller things first. Its OST is probably my single favourite song of the franchise. It's this perfect music to sell this beast of an apex. The design? Check. Incredible. The horns shifting around the face. Are they horns? No. They could be. I don't know. Or are they more fins? I'm not sure. Shifting around the face to form the railgun? God, will we be getting onto the railgun. The wings they're incredibly well designed. It's incredibly textured. It's just such a beautiful, brilliant design. It's the perfect mix of imposing realism and Monster Hunter fantasy to really sell this creature as the top of the Windward Plains food chain. The fight itself is just incredible. My second favourite overall fight, an incredibly close gap between Insurregios, with undoubtedly my favourite single moment. That goddamn max strength railgun blast is the most satisfying thing the entire game has to offer. It's beautiful, fittingly deadly. Oh my god, the way the entire scene darkens around it to highlight its sheer power. It's just incredible direction. What I think is probably one of the creature's most interesting quirks is how it uses its own electricity to generate fulgurite through the surrounding sand, and use it to further enhance itself. That is one of the coolest ways I've ever seen a monster interact with its environment. It's perfectly difficult for where he is in the story, has world-shaping attack power, and Jesus Christ, I'm not counting this, but that Arch-Tempered fight is pretty much perfection for me. It's an incredible challenge, and I often come back to it. So, yeah, I just really love Ray Dow. If I had it my way, it would be this game's legacy, returning in as many installments as possible. Or just carry on making Doshagumas, I would not be mad at that at all.